As a golfer, days like today don't come much better. I'm at Callaway Golf headquarters for a custom fitting to test out the latest golf equipment and see what new golf clubs end up in my golf bag. Today's custom fitter is Luke, and he's going to take us through the fitting process and get me into the best possible irons for my golf game. Before we get into the video, please do consider hitting that subscribe button if you enjoy the content. Let's get into it.
New irons are out.
Yes.
And I've come to update my Apex Pros.
Yeah.
What have we got?
So Ai150 now.
Yeah.
So coming as a direct replacement for that. 1020 forged hollow body iron, kind of taking what is the chassis of our TCB, so our Tour model, rather than the Ai200, making it more compact and smaller. So you're going to get basically better performance through the turf out of this type of head now as well. Updated looks, you know, we're moving more in the direction of the rest of the line, so keeping it nice and progressive. Been really, really solid so far when I've had fittings and testing, so it should be exciting to see the comparisons.
And this is the direct replacement to the Pro.
To the Pro from, yeah.
Let's see it. I haven't even seen it yet.
I'll hand it across.
Okay. So a bit of shine on there, bit of matte out look on the back as well. From the top, is that a bit more squatted than mine?
I'd say, yeah, it definitely looks a little bit shallower from the top end. I think the finish is helping that as well. Where we were full satin previous, I think the kind of more shiny look to the top line definitely thins it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But as I say, basing this off TCB, so the kind of model that Zana Schauffele is using, has really helped the shaping. And actually, when you hit it, the feel off this iron is much, much better than maybe previous editions as well.
So no Apex Pro anymore. We've got Ai150.
Ai150, yeah.
Okay, and what's the other models? Ai200?
Yeah, so you've got 300, which is our largest, kind of more offset, most forgiving. Then you drop to the 200. There is now a new iron in between those called the TI250 or the TI 250. That's kind of its own world, which is just a bigger version of the Fusion.
Yeah.
Then you drop from 200 into the 150, and then below that, currently it's CB and MB below there. So
are you seeing like combo sets with these going up to the bigger models and the longer cuts?
Really good question. In this iron, actually, we don't have to do that. So what they've done is the face design in the core iron, so you're talking kind of 6 iron down to pitching wedge A wedge, is what we call a 17-4. So that's kind of a standard AI face that we use, good at generating spin and a lot of consistency.
Yeah.
But most golfers in this head still want that extra bit of help and launch when they go kind of 5 iron up. So we actually go into our 455 face cup, which is kind of wraps underneath the bottom of the head, gives you more launch, more ball speed. So you don't almost need to combo these because you've got face design that's progressive in the longer irons to help you with that issue of maybe launch or some forgiveness. So
I've got longer chunky ones in my bag. Have a look.
The UTs,
So am I going to be staying in this as well, do you think then?
I think the idea for us with the 150 is to try and keep the sets completely together.
I like that because I'm a bit OCD.
Yeah. Now, if you need like the lower lofts, so we're talking anything sub, let's say 3 iron, then the UT's there. But yeah, for the moment, that's going to be what we'd recommend the whole way through.
I'm thinking like 7 wood, 9 wood.
And that's where I think most players should, right?
Do you see that a lot? Like you said you've done like 2 custom fits already before me here.
Yeah.
Like you must be stopping at, because of lofts as well, at like 6, 5 iron a lot?
A lot of the time, 5 iron's kind of where we go to.
Yeah.
And I would say way more players now, good thing is on tour it's happened, are putting in the 9s and the 7s and are more open to that idea.
Yeah.
9 wood for the right player is a miracle worker.
Yeah.
They're way easier to hit.
Like you're going to get the golfer that's been a long iron player all their life, aren't you? And stuff, which I understand, and they'll say that you hit it better and I can't do hybrids and 9 wood, 7 wood and stuff. But like you say, the mass market out there, the mass people watching this video, 9 wood, 7 woods, like roll and bulge, all that sort of stuff, just designed to help you 100%. Get that ball launching, get it curving back to target when you misstrike it, all those sorts of things. So maybe we'll stop at a 5.
We don't know, do we?
I've got a 5 wood in my bag and I was thinking about a 7. So we'll see how we go. Let me hit them.
Yeah.
They look great. Like you've matched my shaft.
Yeah, I basically matched your spec as close as possible. So loft and shafts and lengths are all matched up here. So
right. Nice clip to it. What do you want me to do? Like hit a certain amount?
Yeah, so if we hit 4 or 5, and then we can kind of dive into what we're seeing, and then jump back into yours if we need to, and we can kind of compare.
Right. Are you seeing any distance changes with these?
To be honest, yes. I've actually seen a bit of an increase. Now, the standard loft of this head has changed.
Okay.
So the standard loft has come down a little bit.
What degree? Half a degree?
So we were 33 in Pro. It's actually 31 here.
Okay.
Now, when I asked, when I first saw the specs, I asked and said, like, okay, why have we done this?
Yeah.
And the argument is that basically a lot of the other brands in this world sit at that kind of loft for this type of head.
Yeah.
So we wanted to line up with them.
Fine.
But on the other side of that as well is they felt what they've done with AI design in the face and the chassis, we're actually generating some good spin rates. And what I have seen is the spin, even at a lower loft, is doing very well here.
Yeah.
Now, I have cranked this back up to try and give us the best comparison to what you're currently playing. So this is up to 33 degrees, so it's set the same as your current iron.
Cool.
But I just wanted to see there. Interestingly, we have seen on those two a little bit of a yardage jump, but we'll see, when you hit a few more.
Nice.
But it's it's a good improvement what they've made.
Cool.
Is there anything that you'd say jumps out to you when you're hitting them in comparison?
The sound, it definitely sounds slightly different, more of a clip to it than my ones that sound more soft and 4G, would you say?
Yeah.
Mine, again, I've got thick grips on mine, which this hasn't, so a feel aspect is a little bit different straight away because what I'm holding is slightly different.
Yeah.
Shaft wise and stuff, the weight of it all feels very similar. Definitely a clip, isn't there? Like, that's a nice strike and kind of a shot that I would expect it to be.
Yeah.
170, something like that distance with strike, probably, if I'm matching lofts with my club.
So if I was to look at your data here, just between the two, and we're looking at averages there of a similar kind of strike, it's interesting where, okay, there's a smidge less spin so far on these shots, so we're down a few revs.
Yeah.
But actually the launch and the ball speeds are still very good. So it's actually launching a hair higher, only a few degree, point of a degree.
Yeah.
Ball speed is up though. So something that modern head's doing very well is quite efficient across the face. So we're at 122 ball speed against, let's call it 121. So we're up a little bit there. And actually on a yardage base, we're maybe up 3 or 4 yards carry just in that iron. Now, we're not trying to change the world here because we're still aiming this at the same type of player.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get incremental gains through the design of the technology, which is what we're kind of seeing. And it's what I'm seeing a lot of my fittings. It's a slightly better looking head at the golf ball, feels slightly more, as you say, of a firmer clip to it.
Yeah.
More like you maybe associate with your CBMB type club. But then we're still with the forgiveness and the balancing of what the numbers are giving you. So I've been really, really happy with this head so far in the fitting sense, and it's doing a very good job for the type of player. We kind of tag this our fastest player's iron. It's there for speed, but still with that look and that feel you're aimed for. So there's a lot of golfers, decent golfers and aspirational golfers in that kind of mid-teen to lower handicap where this just falls perfectly into their hands.
Yeah, they want something that's nice looking in their bag as well, like
of course.
So,
No one's ugly clubs,
but not like blades that are pretty hard and scary to look down at. You've still got that really nice top line look, like you can't see any of the back out the back. I reckon even in 5-iron and stuff like that, you won't be able to see
it still looks really good.
So it's going to look smart and like that player's iron, which, like you say, lots of those high single figures, mid handicaps want to have the ambition to use something like this.
And even your older low handicap golfers, so golfers that used to be the best golfers at your club, that have just put a bit of age on, and maybe have lost some speed, that like a good looking club but don't have the power. The amount of golfers I see walking here where that's just in their hands straight away and they like what it's doing. It's so good, which was what the Pro used to be, but I think if anything this is now doing that job better for those guys. As I say, because of the chassis we're building off, you get that bezeled out front edge, so it almost wants to work into the turf. So when I've hit these on grass, the big thing I notice is actually turf interaction. It really likes to just work through like a better iron would do. Whereas that was always my main critique of the Pro. I liked it, but just turf interaction wasn't as good as a club that should be in that area.
It's kind of like Wedge, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
it's got like a C kind of shaped grind at the front of it. There.
Yeah, 100%. You're bang on. Using a bit of bounce there, and then trying to get you down into the turf to begin with, and work yourself back out on the back edge. So,
nice.
We do a bit of that in our Z grind in the Platinum. Has that kind of same idea. Working you down into the ball. Tiger's wedge grinds have always been like that. The initial front edge, and then quite a bit of bounce on the back.
Yeah. And mine doesn't have that, does it?
No, not as much. It will have a little bit of it, but nowhere near as pronounced as what you're seeing now.
Yeah, I'm like properly seeing that in the light that I'm in here and everything. Like I can see that literally looks like a wedge on the bottom of that. Yeah, that's interesting. I always find it like hard to talk about interaction with the ground and stuff. I find it really hard to feel these kind of things. And especially when you're on the golf course, you're in so many different types of lies and things, aren't you? Like it's going to be different with each shot. But if there is something there that's maybe helping you just that tiny bit, like every golfer's looking for small margins that are going to help them improve a little bit, aren't they? So
exactly right.
If it's there, like cool. And if you can feel it, great as well. Another good strike. That's like 170 probably. Yeah. That's longer than that. 175. Oh.
And what I'd like to point out there is it's still spun at 6,700. So it's not like we're taking spin away. We're trying to keep that spin. The big focus on this is it's not just distance orientated. We want the control. Yeah,
because like rule of thumb is like whatever number is on the bottom of the club is the thousands of revs that you want, isn't it? Yeah. 7-iron will be 7,000. And you're like cranking that 31, which is like old money. I'm no club geek, but that's probably 6-iron. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Would then be 6,000 revs, and that's still spinning really well, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
And you're getting that ball speed.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of ball speed. Hollow body's just great at doing that.
Perhaps I'm not an Ai150 player just yet.
No.
I've still got it.
I would say you're going to be fine. Yeah, it's really solid, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's consistently just that 4 yards up from where we average in with yours, and it's spinning really nicely, and it's just...
I had a few funky strikes on my one. Like if you took out a few of the outliers, the 151 that's just horrible.
Yeah, we'll take that out. I'll get rid of the 163, and then we had a 161 in ours, so we'll take that one out.
And nice and fair. Take the 158 out of our one as well.
Yeah, they are about 3 between.
The spin rate that are pretty much identical, and the standard deviations are overlapping. Yours is all lined up different to mine. I have to try and work out where everything is. So ball speeds. Look at the ball speed. Like that's up there, isn't it? And even with standard deviations, that's faster.
Yeah.
Interesting. And 5 yards carry.
Interesting for me as well. In the fitting world, we're looking at kind of peak heights. The ball's going a little bit higher as well. So the misconception is that they've just knocked the flight out of it and made it go further. Well, actually, no, it's the opposite. It's still going higher to a better yardage as well. So in theory, more control in the shorter clubs as well.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So if I'm looking at that as a fitter, I'm going, well, that's bang on the numbers. We're in the right spin window. We're getting a good height. It's coming in from a good height as well, nice and steep. So you've got a lot of control. Yeah. With a little bit of extra yardage, it's just ticking every box that we'd be looking for.
I guess when I get these, the loft will be the 31.
Well,
it could be put as the same as my old one.
Build them to spec, yeah. We could go 33 and do it that way, and see.
Because the only worry about that for me is when I get down to wedges, like I'd have to put another one in, wouldn't I, kind of thing. And it's
in theory, no. So the pitching wedge of this set is 44, but if we're weakening it by 2 degrees like we have here, you're at 46. So
if I'm in the stronger lofts, then I might have to put something else in. Yeah, I don't really want to do that. Like I know 58, 52 wedge is kind of like
your go-to
stocks kind of thing. And then if I work from there, that's how I kind of like it to work. Yeah. And if we were to go 2 degrees stronger, would it be 2 degrees stronger on the wedge, or would it be like gradual?
No, it's all done platformed. So obviously where we're kind of currently 33 there would be 46 in pitching wedge. If we were to then go the other way, as you say, 44 does bring in that gap the other way. for you in this situation.
Yeah,
yeah. You'd look at your launch angles and go, yeah, we'll try it and see what happens, because you might be surprised. You know, we don't know. So let's try putting it back to just completely standard.
Yeah.
And see what
happens.
happens.
What's this going to go, like 5 yards more again, or
maybe a bit further?
A bit more than that.
Yeah, we might see 180 creep up on the screen at one point.
Which is all good. Again, like, I don't mind it. If my 7-iron goes that distance, I just need to understand that it goes that distance.
Yeah.
But when I get to my wedge, I'm like taking too much off it now to find that gap between my 52 and that pitching wedge, basically, aren't I? And
we do as much work as possible with CG placement and face design to try and negate that issue.
Yeah.
But it is going to be, you can't beat Loft. Loft is a very regimented thing that will do what it does.
Thank you.
So we can do as much as we want, but especially when you get down to smaller heads, you can't move that weight around as much.
Yeah.
So that's why, like in drivers and stuff, you can kind of get away with it, and you can take some loft out and do some funny things. But yeah, when you get into a pitching wedge, it's got a bit of loft on there.
Well, that felt like powerful.
So there you go, 180, right? So I'll put my cap on that. Wasn't a bad shout.
I've started doing some more course vlogs again with Mark Crossfield, like the old days.
Yeah.
And if I hit a 7-iron like past him like that, then that's good fun, isn't it? So there's another side of me that thinks I'll have that distance and then not worry about my wedge.
Well, what's interesting, right, is again we look at ball flights, and because the ball speeds are so much higher at the lower loft, and it's still spun very well, like only 6'3", it's still hit 100 feet. So in theory, that's still gone higher than the average of your current irons. Now I know you struck it well, but it's interesting there, isn't it, where the design of what that's trying to do at the standard loft is still working in terms of ball flight. It's still going to stop. It's just the other one's going to be even more controlled and even better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
cranked it up like
it's 13 yards against your current.
5 feet, who knew, something like that.
Yeah,
it's quite a big difference, isn't it?
It's like a club and a half. Yeah.
It is basically a club, isn't it? Like the loft and the stuff. Oh yeah, it just feels like meaty. Consistent though.
Yeah, very.
180, 180. So if you can keep that distance up and the spin up, then you're
doing well.
You're doing really well. Putting yourself in a great spot. Yeah, that I can see the loft's been taken off there, but again, top line looks good. Yeah. Oh, that's so straight.
Still good though, isn't it? I mean, that's still 6'4" spin, still got to 102 feet.
Yeah.
So in the fitting world, that is still well good enough to play on a golf course. But as we said, why not just crank the loft, give yourself even more consistency?
Yeah.
And that's where a fitter, you should have that discussion. You know, I'd always push people to say, you know your game better than your fitter will do.
Yeah.
Unless it's your coach.
Yeah.
So the reality is, talk to them about what you do on the course.
Yeah.
And for you saying, I get worried about that shot, I don't even look at that's great. I'll just go, right, let's get some spin in there.
Yeah.
Golf ball as well. We're using the X ball. I'd stay where you are. That's a golf ball, looking at the numbers here. But no, it's doing a really solid job. And the reality is, if you look at your shafts and how you're performing, this is a good setup fit-wise. And this is a great example where just bringing in some new technology is just giving you that little bit extra.
Yeah.
You don't always have to change shaft every fitting. It's something I try and say to people is like, just because you're here for a new set of clubs doesn't mean you need a new set of shafts.
Yeah.
Which I see all the time.
Because I changed these in my last fit. I was just Project X, you know, like
rifle.
The
so the
standard ones. This was put in, and I could just feel the head loads more. It kind of felt like the weight went down there.
Yeah, you got a bit less weight in the shaft end on the IO than you do the rifle. So
shaft wise, are we sticking with that?
For me as well as a fitter, if I see no issues with strike and dispersion, and you know the shaft is the steering wheel, it's just a tool to get the club in the right position.
Yeah.
If the club's getting to the right position and you feel comfortable, I don't need to mess around with that side of things. Obviously, we're doing some head dialing in, which is where, again, I'm looking at it going, right, more loft, that's going to be better. But here, plus 2 degrees of loft at standard length in that shaft seems to be doing the money, numbers.
So you would go 33?
Yeah.
If I was to go 31,
yeah,
what's the club's makeup? Is it free to A wedge, free to pitch and wedge? What are they?
So I mean, In terms of what's available in the clubs?
Yeah, so like if someone was coming in here, can they get an A wedge? Like if that gap between their gap wedge and pitching wedge is too much?
Yeah, 100%. So we do free to A wedge in the 150.
So
the 150 A wedge will be, I'm going to say off the top of my head, 49 or 48. What is it? It's 49. I was correct first time. That's right.
So if I went stronger, just to hit it further on the course walks,
yes,
and I went to A wedge, at 49, then I could go 54, 58, couldn't I?
In theory, yeah, for sure.
Or 53, 58.
Yeah, and if we did the other way, we bent it to 33 in the 7, and it became a 51 degree A wedge, you probably just do the split,
Yeah, I've got 52, and that's probably fine.
Yeah, so you probably wouldn't do the A, and you just go to pitching wedge.
Oh, choices. Choices.
Now you could go down the middle and go 1 degree extra, extra loft. Give yourself maybe 5 yards extra, and still a bit of spin, which we can try. So we can see.
49 in the A wedge, 1 degree strong would be 48, and then I go 52, 58.
Sorry, weaker even. We go 1 degree weaker.
Sorry, weaker.
Yeah. So we would basically go 1 degree more loft,
so
and then go to a 50 degree in the A wedge.
And then 54, 58.
Yeah, which would almost be a better blend.
Oh.
And you still get your benefit of a little bit extra yardage. So that's your middle point.
Maybe it's that, isn't it?
Let's try it. So I can crank to 1.
Pop it to 1, and this will probably go 175.
Yeah, 175 is what we would maybe expect.
Yeah.
Right? So
this is 32.
Yeah, correct. So 32 degrees. We've just added only 1 degree aloft rather than 2 here, just to check.
And this is going to go 175 on the line. Bang. That's the one.
Okay.
174.
Yep. 0.3 of a yard.
Pretty straight.
You're 0.7 short. I'll give you that.
And the spin's crept up a smidge as well.
Yeah.
Just because of that loft.
Exactly right. And it's come up about what we'd expect. 0.5 degree in launch. Spins up. Actually quite a bit of revs on that shot. So that was a really good one. So the argument would be, we go 1 degree of extra loft, but no more than that. And then that gives you a really nice blending through the top of the bag.
And I get an A wedge.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, correct. So we basically go, pitching wedge will be 45. Then you'll have A wedge at 50. So there's a 5 degree gap between those, but then you can just do your normal split, 54, 58, and then you're sorted.
Done.
So it's nice and easy that way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Luke.
Problem.
How long will it take? A couple of days for me?
I reckon we can
go in the thingy now and get them built?
Yeah, we'll start building them up. Yeah, that's fine. I can do that.
That's great. They're nice. And I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.